Hello and welcome to this series of tutorials on SecurityHQ's Risk Center. My name is Chris Cheyne and I'll be walking you through the session today. So this is really the first video where we'll be looking at the overall risk dashboards, the overall functionality of the Risk Center itself and how to use that. When you navigate to SecurityHQ's Risk Center, you'll land on this cyber risk dashboard and you'll be presented with an array of metrics here with it, which allow you to get a very quick assessment on where your security risks are. And you can see here, if we start at the top, the first one is the count of overall the risks that you're managing within this risk center, and there's 11 risks that are here. We see an alert level indication, which I'll explain in a moment's time. In this case, it's set to severe. And we see a maturity level indication, which there's a separate video which talks about how to configure this to understand your maturity level. And in this case, this is based on the National Cyber Security Center's maturity level based on their cyber assessment framework. Interestingly, though, underneath you can see a heat map here, which allows you to identify the top risks that you have in play that are open on the platform at the moment, and that can be pivoted. In this case, it's pivoted by the impact versus the overall risk likelihood, but equally you can pivot it based on the vulnerability versus scoring based on the threat score. Either way, it allows you to prioritize the risks that you're handling within and across your organization. Underneath here, there is a susceptibility index. The susceptibility index is really split up into key themes of concern. And in this case, we've got data exfiltration, for example, as a theme of concern, and this is populated from the underlying risks which are attributed to data exfiltration, and really based on the level of mitigation you have against those particular risks, it will give you an assessment of the overall susceptibility. And these can be quite interesting just for measuring your exposure or your susceptibility to those key themes. On the right hand side underneath, you get to spot the overall trend of risks over time to see, are we just accumulating those risks, or are we both accumulating and closing those out, and where have we got high risks that have been open for a long period of time, and we can change the duration for that. Top right here, we have an overview of the top 5 risks, which could be pivoted either based on the overall risk, the risk score, the exposure score, or we can pivot it based on the top risky systems or the open mitigation controls to just pivot that data in a different way. So this is a quick landing so you can really inspect where is my risk at, and this is something which is going to be used by both CISO level, CIO level, right the way through to security managers and security analysts as well. Of course, if you wanted to go down into any other level of detail, you can either click onto the risk register itself, or you can go onto the click on any of the numbers here. In this case, I'll click on the hottest red within the heat map there to click through to those high risks, and you're left here with a view of the risk register itself. The risk register allows you to very quickly identify are those risks open, assigned, closed state, what's the overall level of exposure, i.e. the risk and their underlying scores, and some quick metrics around what those risks are in terms of the actor, the associated miscontrol families, the threat events that are associated with it, as a quick scorecard to be able to get a quick view and sense of what those risks are. Of course, if you wanted to see more detail, you'd view those, and there's a separate video that talks you through that risk scorecard. But this risk register allows you to manage and organize your risks and search and pivot those as well. So the search and filter function is quite powerful. If there's a risk or a topic and you know the name of that, you can simply search based on that key theme, or you can plug in the risk ID number. Interestingly, here you can also start to select the risks that you want to view based either on risk exposure, the likelihood, impact, threat, or the vulnerability by just changing these sliders up and down to filter in or out those risks which you've got a view on. We can search by lots of different parameters as well. In this case, I'm pivoting
the database on the risk name, but equally I can start to filter by the associated NIST control family, threat events, or MITRE tactics. So the search function of this risk register is very powerful, allows you to really filter down on things that you want to see. So that's a quick overview on the dashboard and the risk register. Do tune into some of the other videos if you want to see more detail on how to create risks, how to manage risks, and how to complete that cyber maturity assessment. Thank you for listening.
So we hope you found this video useful, and remember, we're always here to help. And if you need any further information, please do reach out to us at securityhq.com. Remember, we're here 24/7, and we're always here to help you with any of your cybersecurity needs.